For as much as I was an inmate, I remained a mother, I remained a daughter, and I remained a woman. Her carload of people pulled up first, and our carload was next. And I was surveying the cars because I was just hoping that there was somebody who was going to be getting out of the car, taking this first steps into prison like I was. I saw several men and women get out, and then all of a sudden, I recognized her. And I instantly knew that she was facing what I was facing. She was shaking. She had a Bible in her hand, and she had a very weird smile. And her smile was as if it was trying to convey to everyone around her, I'm okay, I'm going to be okay. But what was very obvious is that she was everything but okay. I probably if she was sitting here, she would say the same thing about me. We probably saw the same thing in each other. My sister Tammy went over to their group to ask if they were there to drop off a loved one as well, and came back and said, Teresa, I want you to meet Diane. And it was just really sweet because my sister Tammy, as well as the rest of my family, knew that it was going to be a hard journey for us to take, or for me to be able to take, and for them to take as well. And I think they wanted to know that I had someone to take that step with. When the van came to pick Diane and I up, we were in the parking lot, we said our goodbyes, and we entered the car together. And in that moment, we grabbed hands. We held each other's hands, and she was crying out of control, and tears were streaming down my face. But there was something inside of me that said, we're going to be okay. We're going to make it through this. We're going to get through this. And we held hands, and we drove through the prison gates. And we went through the journey together. Diane had a 12-month and a 1-day sentence. I had an 87-month sentence. And what she promised me within the next few days of us being together was that she was going to be there for me, and that she was going to do the time with me. We arrived January 3rd, 2007, and Diane left before Thanksgiving that year. But what Diane did was every week I received a letter. For my birthday, I received cards. For every holiday, I don't care if it was Thanksgiving or Halloween or St. Patrick's Day, I received a card. I received something that said, I know you're still there, I'm with you, this is what's going on. And it was a very sweet moment. When it was time for me to leave, Diane was there. She called my family and made arrangements to meet us halfway. And so Diane actually did all of my time with me. We walked into prison together. She stayed in contact with me, sent me little gifts for my birthdays, holidays, and all of that stuff. And when it was time to come home, she was there. As a matter of fact, the necklace I'm wearing is a necklace that Diane gave me. And when I saw her for the first time, she said to me, I bought one for you and I bought one for me. And so every time I wear this necklace, I think of Diane. I think of our friendship. And even now, we keep in contact and we laugh and tell crazy stories. So out of all the women who've supported me, Diane supported me the longest. Federal prisons have photo taking. It's one of the most common activities there. When I first got there, I wondered why in the world would anyone want to take pictures and have reminders of being in prison. It took me about 6 months, 9 months before I started taking pictures. Today they bring me great joy. This is a picture of Susan. And Susan is one of my friends from Alderson. When I met her, she was about 68. I think now she's around 73, 74. And it was a special relationship that she and I had. I met her about 2 weeks into being at Alderson, and the relationship we had was a very familiar relationship. In a sense, she kind of, even today, still feels like she's my mom, my second mom. I was in a lot of pain when I first got there. I was angry, and it was through lots of walking and talking with Susan that I began to open my heart. I learned to surrender, and I learned to just begin to live and breathe again. My name is Teresa Hodge, and I was sentenced to 87 months. I served a total of 60 months at Alderson Federal Prison Camp in Alderson, West Virginia, the first and oldest prison camp for women. I never imagined the reentry journey to be so difficult. But what has gotten me through this journey has been the women that I met at Alderson. It has been their support. It's been our ability to cry on one another, to encourage one another, to remind one another of all the things that we talked about, of all the things we had imagined while we were in prison. I have 4 sisters, and I love them all dearly, and we're all very close. But when times get tough and I'm trying to figure out how to put my life back on track, I don't give them a call. I call one of my sisters that I met at Alderson, and together we figure out the next steps for one another. People often ask me, how does it feel to be home? And my response normally is, when I'm fully home, I'll let you know. Pearls is one of my favorite gems. I've always liked pearls. And there was just no way that I was going to spend the rest of my life being referred to as an inmate, an ex-con, a prisoner, or some other term that was derogatory. Somehow, before I went to prison, what came to me was the name Pearls in Prison. So I gravitated to that name, and I went into prison knowing I was a pearl in prison. I referred to myself, I referred to my friends, and all the other ladies that I would come in contact with as pearls. And somehow I just recognized and realized that we were women who just found ourselves in a really tough, irritating position, and we were pearls, and something good was going to come out of that. I have a group of brave women who stand ready to tell their stories with the belief we will encourage others to come forth and tell their stories as well. Yet our stories come alive at the sacrifice of continuing to put the worst part of our lives on public display. Our hope is in doing so, we not only heal ourselves, but bring to light a travesty that is allowed to take place in one of the greatest countries in this world, America. If we're honest with ourselves, there is a very certain image that we all hold of what a prisoner looks like. What I'm hoping is that by way of this platform, I will be able to introduce other faces, real people who are going to prison today. And with that, I'm hoping that we will be able to bring some level of community awareness as well as policy change. This interactive multimedia platform will honor women returning home from prison, America's female returning citizens. It will serve as a place to offer the final healing and solidify our collective freedom.